Hey, YouTube. I'm Brick Smith, and welcome to Forever Sorting with Kevin Aloysius Hinkle.
We went back. Are we going back to Aloysius?
I like Aloysius. That's your new name now. Kevin.
Hello,
Hey, Kevin.
Julian.
We're not alone.
We're never alone because we have all these awesome viewers every week.
They are awesome. But there's somebody here.
It's not stranger danger, I assure you. We are very happy to welcome our fourth special guest
Woo-hoo!
on our program. We have Megan Rothrock with us.
Hi, Megan. I'm Brick Smith. It's nice to meet you again.
It's nice to meet you again, Mr.
Happy
Smith.
Mother's Day, everybody. Happy Mother's Day.
Yes, that too. So if anybody watching made it out to Philly Brickfest, which I know is a good chunk of you,
Woo!
you may have gotten the chance to meet Megan while you were there. She was there. She was there during the weekend, right? A little bit Friday, but mostly Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah, a little bit Friday.
Yep. So she was there. Maybe you saw her. Maybe you purchased a book from her at a yard sale.
Maybe I should have and didn't.
Or maybe you wondered who she was.
Or you're like, who's that? Who's that person?
Why does she know all the people? What's going on?
Exactly. Thank you for being here with us, Megan. We appreciate you taking the time. And thank you also for going to Philly Brickfest. I'm happy that worked out.
Absolutely. That was awesome.
Yeah, that was a brilliant event. That was super fun. So
And as we've already said off air, next year, the whole thing.
yeah. well, for myself, yes, because this is my job. So I flex my time as needed, which means I'm working all the time. But of course, the other advantage is you actually get to get out of the office and do stuff.
Which we're going to learn all about today.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. So, Kevin,
Yes.
you start, and then Megan, you can follow suit. Kevin, where can they find you?
Yes. Hello, everyone. Again, yes. Before we get too far in, again, for the record, that intro episode's coming, folks.
We're going to get you.
It's gonna be right when you let your guard down. We're gonna hit you with it.
We're gonna do it.
So, but thank you guys for being here for another episode of this series. My name is Kevin Hinkle. If you have any interest in following me outside of this program, you can find me on social media at Mr. Kevin Hinkle. If you'd like to follow just my artwork, that would be at Mr. Hinkle Draws. And also, as I've been saying for the last couple opportunities, we are celebrating the launch of Volume 3 of Bricks in the Middle Comics on June 1st. It's exciting. It's exciting. If you want to enter our giveaway, you can head to bricksinthemiddle.com/giveaway. We have a contest where you could win a cameo in the comic. You could win a 36-inch plush of Sparks, the main character.
Sparks.
There is an adorable photo of my son holding the doll on the contest page. You could also win some other different swag things like minifigs or stickers. But we're really excited. So bricksinthemiddle.com or at BITM Comics on social media. And Megan has a swag pack. That's one of the prizes. If you didn't meet me in person,
there you go.
You could win. You could win one of those.
And if you lose, just hit me up on Instagram. I'll send you one too.
There may be other ways. But Julian does not have the plush.
I need the plush.
The plush. I've loved it. There's some people I don't know how I feel about the plush, but other people are like,
talk after this. I was not aware you were into plush fabrication.
I was not aware either. But it was an interesting business experiment. But we'll see. Hey, there seems to be a lot of demand. Maybe there'll be more.
Maybe there needs to be.
But yeah, so there's that. And then also I design Lego inspired t-shirts. So AFL shirts can be found on bricksonthedollar.com. We've just crossed 1 full year of the shirt subscription service. That's 12. Thank you. 12 unique designs, and 6 of those are available for individual sale on Amazon. So you don't have to go to the subscription service if you don't want. We just released the Galador inspired shirt on Amazon.
That's gonna go crazy.
So you can get the Glinch shirt. And then our subscribers this month are getting the Blacktron inspired shirt. Ooh. And we are hard at work and about to share the teaser for next month very, very soon. So that's where you can find me. Megan, how can people find you outside of this program?
Wow, that's quite a list there.
I'm sorry.
You don't have to be. You don't have to be like Kevin. He's
I
a
am-
little full of himself.
You can
I'm-
find myself and Mr. Jim Folds at Constructive Venture. So
Constructive Venture.
There we go. Awesome.
constructiveventure .com, but actually we broke Google with @CavClicks.
There it is.
See there. So if you just Google @CavClicks, we come up everywhere.
That's awesome.
That links to straight to the Instagram. The Twitter's not too. We like Instagram more than Twitter, but it does have some feed.
I don't like.
And then we also have a Facebook page as well. And our brand new book, Constructive Venture, Building with Sid and Friends, is now available on Amazon. And all you have to do is just either visit one of our social spots and click the link there, or just go straight to Amazon and just search Constructive Venture, and it comes up like magic. So
I like
very cool.
magic.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Very cool. I have my book. My book came in.
Very good.
I was actually like very impressed at how fast it came in. I was like, oh,
It is magical, this print on demand, because I have worked in the print industry in a former life. So I know a lot of those processes and the time it takes and cutting and all that. It's just amazing. You can get it in 2 days.
Yeah, I'm a ball dropper, so I don't have the book yet. But I don't think I have anything Kevin's ever done either. So that's because they don't fit. Never mind.
that's very true. Very true.
Well, if we'd had other than proof copies, could have had a copy at the Philly Brick Fest, but
Yeah,
didn't get cleared through the Amazon channels quite quick.
I'm sorry. Hey, Kevin.
Yes.
How do you know Megan?
I'm present.
Yeah.
Present.
How do you know? Good to know. How do you know Megan? How does she fit into your timeline, sir?
Into this
Yeah,
grand
grand episodic tale of woe.
Yeah.
That's a different story.
That's Metal Beard.
Oh,
That's my tale of woe. Yeah. So what's interesting is this does. We've been pretty good so far about getting the right special guest at the right time. I must say,
it's more of that magic.
It's the magic, folks. So in the grand tale, in the episodic tale, for those of you that have been hanging out for the last couple episodes, I had finally accepted that job, right? And I was going to move to Connecticut. And there was a pending trip, my first trip ever to leave the United States and go to Denmark. And when I did that trip, which we're on the cusp of telling you in the episodic tale, don't worry. Megan was one of the first people I met ever when I left the country.
That's very true.
And it was a very interesting trip because that was the first, like I said, that was the first time I ever left the country.
Mm-hmm.
It was the first time I was ever more than an hour or two outside of my own time zone.
Yes.
And I was like 6 hours outside of my time zone.
6 or 9, depending on where you came from. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And so Megan was definitely one of the native guides to welcome me into the homeland.
Those are the best. They
are absolutely the best.
Hey, Kevin, welcome to Philly.
Yeah, exactly. Come. Yeah, it's like the old Simpsons where Homer's on the couch and like zombified, and he's like just patting the couch. Come over here, Lisa. Yeah. So it was really, really helpful. But yeah, she was one of the first people I met outside of the country.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's very true.
Look at here we are in 2019.
And here we are.
Stuck
And
with
that
this
was-
guy. Sorry.
And that was back in 2011. For those of you playing the home game, that was in 2011 when that fateful trip was.
That was indeed. That was also around the time that was that fall 2011 or end of summer?
No, it was in the fall.
Yes, that's right.
And I believe Kevin was about 17 and a half years old at that time.
I
Well,
had
you
my-
can legally drink in Europe, so it's fine.
Yeah. Oh, there, guys. We have so many fun stories when we get to like my first trip. We'll save those for another episode. But
And yeah, that was an interesting turning point for me as well, because around that time that I got approached by No Starch Press to create a book, my first book, the Lego Adventure book.
number one,
Volume 1.
volume 1.
Oh,
So I think this is a wonderful opportunity. Now that we can see kind of where the pieces are to get into Megan's story and her humble beginnings, and would you please regale us and telling us a little bit about where you're from and you kind of got into this whole Lego game.
Sure. Well, I actually am from, I grew up on the moon of Endor, grew up in Northern California.
The moon of Endor.
About 45 minutes from where all the Return of the Jedi footage was shot. So yes, grew up in the heart of the Redwood and just was outside all the time as a kid, playing and building with Lego and building little Lego homes for my live animals I may have acquired in nature and brought into the house to come live in my room. Typical kid stuff.
I love it. So Endor is both a metaphor and real.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So yeah, a lot of playing with Lego and sculpting clay. And my path at that time, my big heroes of the day were Chuck Jones, creator of the Looney Tune cartoons for all you kids out there.
What's a Looney Tune?
Everybody loved Walt, but I was really into Chuck Jones and his animation style, and Hanna-Barbera, William and Joseph Hanna-Barbera, who created Scooby-Doo. So I grew up with the dream of wanting to make Scooby-Doo cartoons since the age of 4. So animation ended up as my path. And I went on to, I was building with Lego. We're looking at the Lego side of it. I was building with Lego and had it in my room till 18. Then you get kicked out into life and out of the area. So it got all packed up, but I still have it. And
you still so you still have all your childhood Lego?
Oh yeah, of course.
So you didn't lose any of it?
No. It was the one toy that my mom insisted I was actually able to keep without any argument.
Nice.
That's I would say you are definitely probably in the minority with that. I don't think many people can say that they were able to hang on to even some of their childhood collection.
Yeah, sadly my Scooby-Doo metal lunchbox got pitched over the hill one day by her, but I have all my childhood Lego.
That's pretty awesome.
It's Scooby-Doo. Yeah. No.
I know. That was tragic.
Yeah.
I'm guessing then that the Scooby-Doo Lego sets were of particular interest to you.
Oh, well, there's a whole sidebar about that. I've been trying to push that to do as a set theme for years and years.
Grease in the palms.
Do you remember the prototype that I had in the cabinet? The Scooby prototype.
I do think there was a lot of amazing things to look at.
That's true.
I can safely say that every time I ever went to Billund, there was so many things every single day to look at that I'm like, I think I hit overload the moment I walked off the plane. It's like, how much can I retain? But there was a lot of cool stuff.
That's very true. But yes, went on and ended up on a different path, ended up on a corporate path, actually working for Xerox and management for graphics. When right on the cusp of digital printing and things, it was an exciting time. And
I'm sorry, was that before or after Steve Jobs stole their whole setup?
That was after.
Oh. Sorry, I watch too much TV and shit.
Oh no, I saw that when I saw that the interface for that, I was like, wait a minute, that's Xerox.
Yeah.
That's great.
I had to watch
Xerox,
a movie.
Of course, like Lego and a lot of older companies, had a really rich history in all of that. So yeah, it was really interesting to see that. Yeah, totally, Nick. But yes, so I ended up, and life takes many turns, and in '99 I ended up living in Holland. And when I was at Xerox, when I was at Northern Arizona University running the reprographics department, before I could even legally drink at a bar, by happenstance, I was buying Lego at the Toys R Us down the road. And I was getting the odd set here or there. Usually it was cool if it had like a horse in it or something. And I was just doing some building on the side. But when I moved to Holland, I discovered that there was an entire, not just within the country of Holland, but there was an entire community globally of people that were building things and putting them online. So I started with LugNet, and that
Nice.
hosting process was not friendly in any way, but I hacked through it. And I was like one of 5 lady builders out there at the time. And so eventually we
Wow.
would start networking and talking with each other. And then I was really heavily involved with Classic Castle and Classic Space. And I have Mark Stafford to thank for that because he was heavily involved in it. Like, oh, this is great. So he was building and I was building, and we were posting models and winning contests. It was a fun time.
Imagine.
For sure.
So
And-
what you're saying is you were on the beginning of the internet AFOL.
I guess I was without really
So
realizing.
I'm the noob, and you've been around forever on the internet.
Some like to say I'm from the old guard, the
Yep.
old Rick guard.
This is like one of those moments, Julian, where like in the Men in Black movies, when you think like you're the master of your domain,
Right.
and then they open the Foot Locker, and it's like actually you're in the Foot Locker, and there's other people going, look at these guys, they think they know it all in here.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I don't think I can handle too many more of those. No.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
There's only so many levels we can handle.
Yeah.
It was a fun time. It really was. And my first event was Lego World in Holland, which is the world's largest public event. Now it's
Yeah.
pushing over 100,000 through in about a week's time.
Wow.
When I
Yeah.
first started going, it was around 30,000.
Yeah.
And my other large experience event before that was San Diego Comic-Con back in the good times.
back when it was cool.
Back in the 90s, back before they zoomed in on the eye of the toucan, and it was just a phenomenal experience. And you could just talk to Matt Groening and just hang out with all the legends, and it was fabulous. But that was my large scale experience with a convention. And then I went to Lego World, and of course it was essentially of a similar scale, which Comic-Con was at that time, but all Lego focused, which was just brilliant. And to see the builds that the Bouwsteen, the Dutch Lego Club had brought was just jaw-dropping. Just gorgeous models everywhere. And my first set I got out of there was the then called Lego Designer set with the crab and the chameleon that were designed by Matthew Ashton, as it happens.
I'm not going to
One of
act
my-
like I know which one that one is.
Favorite sets. It's a good one. It has such great shape elements in it, and that's what really got me back in out of the dark ages, if I ever really had any. But I kind of guess I did, because I was forced to put it away to go to college, but then I kind of, once I got on my own career track and had my own money, I started going and buying it again. So I guess I kind of had dark age for a while.
So
you had
kid,
one.
hang on, Kevin, hang on. So kids, what we're saying is, don't go to college. Keep playing with your Lego.
That's
That
exactly
is the message. That is the message these 3 people are trying to get
What we're
across.
saying is you can do both.
That's what I said. Do both. Sorry, I'm just messing around. Kevin, you were going to say something before you unrudely interrupted me.
The opinion stated on Forever Sorting do not represent the legal disclaimer. Legal disclaimer. But so it sounds like there was one. It just didn't last very long. It was just like a fleeting moment.
A fleeting time, yeah. Because well, I've always been interested in toys.
Yeah, and would you mind, just for those that are not familiar, because I know, especially on this side of the ocean, a lot of people have no idea what Lego World is.
This is literally the first time I've ever heard that in a sentence. And I like to think that I'm informed, or at least more informed than others. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yep.
So Lego World at that time was in the city of Zwolle. So it's about 45 to an hour northeast of Amsterdam. So further up in the country, but it was cool because you could get there by train if you wanted to. They had a train station right across from the event hall. And it was a fantastic event. The Bouwsteen at that time had at least 500 members that were coming with models and bringing and showing. Because that area would just grow every year. So it was, of course, we got the gorgeous fan model zone, which was always the most popular attraction, as it were, of the event. All the visitors would say that. They're like, oh, this needs to be bigger. You guys need to have more space. It's ridiculous. They've shoved you in this small section of the event hall. And we grew and we grew and we grew and we grew every year for sure. I happen to... The universe works in funky ways, and I ended up with a degree in Dutch when I was living in Holland. So I speak it fluently. And Mark, being British, spoke no Dutch. So I, for the first event, was up in front of the fence, talking with the kids, demonstrating all the models to the kids and showing them all little hidden things like the skeletons in the castle and the basement. They'd laugh and run away. It was just a good time. It was really fun.
What year was that, did you say?
I would say that was either 99 or 2000.
I love it. So this isn't like, 40 years ago, folks. This is the beginning of everything.
Really. That's amazing.
Very true.
It's awesome.
And so
so Lego World is still huge. Now it's moved to Utrecht, which is right in the middle of downtown Utrecht, so you can go all around the city, which is also cool. And the event hall is much more modern and a lot larger. But the IJsselhallen, where it was for years, was an excellent place. But it was amusing because they used this event hall for ice capades, horse cattle auctions. You never knew what you were going to run across when you were on setup day there. It's like, oh, they've got all these cattle fences that we can use as stanchions, which were awesome because they weighed a ton.
Yeah.
So it was really difficult to move. It was good stanchions.
Yeah, keep your Lego safe though. That's what we need to do. That's what we need to move to over here in America.
Yeah, and they locked in place. So the only way they could get moved is if weight got put on the outer corners and you had a super long run of them without a midpoint to stop. It was really good.
I thought you were gonna say we need to start getting like electric fences, Julian.
Oh, I like that idea too.
Just not like just to zap. Just a
little like a bug zapper. Let's not kill anybody.
Signage is handy.
Oh yeah,
and constant watch of table is handy.
Speaking, not to take us on too big of a tangent.
Tangent time.
I saw a sign at when I was in New York. When I was in New York, I visited one of those like miniature world places, where they do really scale models, but are really, really tiny. It was called.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Go into more detail, Kevin.
So the place, I just remember. Okay, the name of the place was Gulliver's Gate. I just remembered that was the name. of it.
Fun.
I see why.
Which is a clever name. But they had signs everywhere because the models are so tiny, like Lego layouts and dioramas. And the wording they use I thought was really clever. And it was hands are for making and not for breaking.
Oh.
And I was like, someone needs to copy this and put this at Lego shows. Like that's the best. Like it was really good.
That's really good.
So another thing I think that's also very different for this side of the pond is that Lego World is obviously called Lego World because Lego owns it and Lego runs it. As opposed to
it was early in the game. The Baustein were clever, and they approached Lego Holland.
Yeah,
and Lego Holland went, yeah,
absolutely.
Now there's this whole other department at Lego which is kind of watchdogging and in charge of all that stuff. So it's not as it was, but it's still a really great event. And yes, it is brand sanctioned and sponsored.
Yeah.
Nice.
In case anyone out there is like, but wait a minute.
How are they able to use it?
Exactly. That's always the first question.
As a partnership many, many years ago.
That's awesome.
Because I think it'd been going for at least 3 or 4 years by the time I came into it. It started around 95, 96.
Nice. I was still in high school in 95.
And also for those of you again playing the home game.
In 5th grade.
No, I don't. Megan mentioned a lug that had 500 members displaying. I want to make sure that was
the mouse.
I did gasp. 500.
Yeah, that's something that
now it's more like 1,000 displaying. So.
Well, I mean,
at the time of the first one, it was 300 to 400 displaying. Yeah, wow. And then it just kept growing and growing.
And that's one lug, everybody. Let's make the Deep South lug that strong. Let's go.
Yeah, there's when I was still looking at the numbers, there was very, very few lugs that were known to the Lego group in North America that had more than 1,000 members in total.
Right.
There was probably less than 10.
Yeah.
And I think even there, I can only probably think of maybe 1 or 2.
Yeah, I can vouch for what Kevin's saying. I was there too.
Yeah, Julian was there.
I know all of these things.
Julian was there. So, but yeah, please continue. So yeah, Lego World displaying there, and also fluent in Dutch. Is that what you said?
Yes.
That's what she said.
That's pretty amazing. Like, do you speak Danish too?
I taler lite dansk. Yeah.
So there you go, folks.
A bit.
She speaks better Dutch and Danish than Kevin speaks Spanish.
Yes.
Oh.
See.
Yeah, right under that bus, buddy. Right under that bus.
Yo hablo un poquito español.
I just got my alert from Duolingo to work on my Spanish for the day. So
yikes. My wife learned Italian that way.
Oh, nice.
But Matt,
there's nothing like living in the country to learn the language for sure.
Mad respect for being fluent in other language. Mad respect.
Thank you.
Kevin should do better.
I agree. My family agrees too.
I know. That's why. Who do you think told me? No.
Yeah, exactly. So yes, please continue.
Yes,
Kevin, you look. Hold on, before you, Megan. I'm sorry. Kevin is being rude. He keeps messing with stuff, and he needs to stop.
I'm sorry. I'm distracted by this.
Trying to work?
I'm sorry, everybody. He's playing.
I'm distracted by. Yeah, it's the Fort Legorado. I'm sorry.
That is fabulous. That is a lovely set.
That is a lovely. Kevin, just push it off the table.
I was literally like positioning the guns in people's hands.
Yeah, look at Kevin. Like, he's not paying attention. Megan, he's not listening to you at all.
Hey, no.
You can roll it back later, can't you?
Megan knows that all creative types, we need to have something in our hands while we're listening. That's what we do.
That's why I have this in my hand, which is some alt brick, but it's like the.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah, it's the best alt brick piece that ever lived.
That's nice. I haven't seen that one before.
I don't know where it came from. I don't know how I got it, but I have it now, and I can't stop touching it.
I could see why. It's very tactile.
Jurassic Park, where you put the claw. Yeah, that's it, and tap it. Yeah,
Velociraptor claw there.
I'm so sorry, Megan. I apologize for being such a piece of crap. Continue.
No, you're good.
That's what they keep telling me, but I don't know if I believe anybody.
No, I don't believe you all. Yes, I'm sorry for playing with my
So
fork.
out of Lego World came a huge joy for building, and acquired some Lego bricks because, of course, there was all sorts of amazing second-hand markets there. And but yeah, that Lego designer set was really the big kickoff. And then eventually, I can't quite recall how it happened, but I was posting online, and Joe Mano from Brick Journal approached about. He was really excited that there were some girl builders out there who wanted to share their work, because there were actually some lovely gal builders that would bring stuff to events, but they didn't want to share their work anywhere. Oh no, I don't want to have you take pictures of it, or
I don't want to talk about it.
That's still a problem over here on this side of the pond with our female YouTube Lego builders. They love to build, and they're just whatever. It's cool.
Yeah, that seems to be a common thread for sure. And I didn't understand it myself. I thought I was quite humbled that somebody wanted to print my work in their magazine. But that's how the relationship with Joe and I started. And then I started, because I was in Europe, and I also had a background in journalism as well, which was handy. So we were coming from similar, classic staff newspaper and paste up worlds. And so we hit it off. And then I sort of became like the on the go around European event editor. And when I moved up to Billings, then it went even more crazy. I became at one point as a masthead Lego editor, because I was just flowing in all the Lego content.
Yep.
And historical pieces, which was really great. But so from there, I was actually doing marine cargo surveying with Mark. That was the 9-to-5 job. So we were guarding cocoa beans for UK and Belgium, Holland, and Germany, sometimes in the UK as well. So that was a whole other thing I'd never done before, and super exciting. And being that I spoke fluent Dutch, I could actually be like an undercover agent, and if there was loss, find it, because they would just speak openly in front of me.
Oh, nice.
Because Mark was British. It was a British company, so.
This is by the time this episode's done, everyone's like, I don't really want to hear the rest of Kevin's story. I want to hear Megan's story. It's like,
yes, please, more Megan.
Well, anyway, so going to Lego World, that was the big event. We did Lego World, and we did the club days, and just built all year for those events, and they were great. But because there were Lego sponsored events, a lot of people from Lego from the headquarters would come down. Like, before Jorn V was even fully hired in, he was being led around the hall by Kel. Met him on his second day, but he wasn't even fully hired in yet. And for those who may remember, that's the former CEO of Lego.
Yeah, he's 2 CEOs ago now.
Oh,
he's,
yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, he's definitely, I would say, in general, the most well-known CEO.
Definitely.
Was he in the one that was on the Berkman-ery?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, I know which one we're talking about now. Okay.
Yeah.
He was absolutely fantastic. It was just great working with him, and being able to have long discussions about why is Lego such a passionate product and toy. So that was really great. But also, some of the Lego designers would come down, and they came over to the table that Mark and I had, and were just blown away with what we were doing. Then they told us what they were doing, and we were blown away. And that's when we discovered that it could actually be a job.
What I can do this for a living.
Yeah, because I had this theory that you had to be some type of, engineer or hardcore scientist kind of thing.
All the product designers have like white lab coats.
Right.
They're like holding beakers.
There's actually toy design programs in universities now. Owens Parsons in LA has a brilliant toy design program, which if I could ever take just for fun, I would love to. And it's taught by former fantastic people from Mattel and Fisher Price, and it's brilliant. But back in the day, there was nothing. There was no Google Kids. We had Encyclopedia Britannica.
Right? I remember those days myself.
And word of mouth and phone books, physical phone books.
I've never trusted
them. How would you ever know how to get into toy design? You would not have a clue.
Right.
And the universities didn't feed into it. It was hard enough trying to get a decent education in animation, let alone toy design. So it's a sweet time now, though, for sure. And the term Lego designers coined now, and kids know what it is to that it's actually a job, which is
we've actually had, I think, 2 or 3 I call them acquaintance friends that like I know through the community. Couple of them, two I know. I think Kevin said a third, but they went over to they just moved to Billings.
Yeah, they just started. Yeah,
they're getting their career started. So
yeah.
And I was like, well, it was nice. It was nice seeing them on Instagram. I guess that's never going to happen again.
I guess that's gone.
God, I hope they go them do a modular building. Come on, I want to watch the video.
Well, you never know. Once they get settled, they might find that they want to do it for fun, like Mark does, Lego Nabai, now senior designer at Lego. And a lot of his design language is in a lot of sets.
Yeah,
it's so much so that sometimes I'll pick up a box and be like, oh, it looks like something Mark did. And he didn't actually do that one, but he led the project. Like,
yep,
that's why.
It's that artist signature.
All those lovely mix. Yeah.
I was just talking to Kevin about a current designer, and I was like, I got this set. I really like this set. And then I went looking and I typed his name in, and then I saw this set and this set and this set. I'm like, I have all of those, and I like the way they're built, and I like the color pick out. I was like, it's all the same guy. I love this.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
But yeah. Where were we at? I derailed this. Sorry.
No. So you were saying
so eventually around summer 2005, we'll fast forward. I actually found because the designers that we would meet at Lego World had no business cards. We exchanged information, but somehow fate intervened on that first time they came through, which was the second Lego World. And both parties lost the information. Like we lost it probably before the end of the event. They lost it somewhere in transit because we worked it out years later as it happened. But they were like, why didn't you ever call us?
Well, did you call us?
The information.
Yes, exactly.
It's written on a piece of notebook paper and you put it in your pocket and you're going for 16 hours a day. It might not make it back. So yeah, we learned our lesson from that one. But eventually in 2005, that summer, Lego was actually hiring for design because they had a lockdown on hiring in designers because they'd come through. They'd be like, yeah, we put your stuff forward. They want to possibly bring you in on some workshops or something, but we can't because we're not hiring for you. Like, oh, wonderful.
Was this you said this is 2005?
Yeah.
So, remember, for those of you guys that have been listening to this program from the beginning, I got my job at Lego in September 2005, and that was when I got the job at the store, and they said, congratulations, just so you know, you may not have a job because we don't know. We are closing stores. We don't know which stores. This store may be one, so enjoy it while it lasts. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
So it's funny that, just on the other side of the same spectrum, it's funny stuff.
That is funny. I don't know if I've heard that one before.
Yeah, that was said to me. So go on.
So they were actually properly hiring. So Mark and I got that was funny too because I went to Mark. I said, look, Lego's hiring for designers, all sorts of different design, like it was a blanket hiring thing. It was a good time. And I said, I'm going to apply. And he's like, well, I don't think I'll apply. I was like, you're out of your mind. You're going to apply because if I'm applying and you're applying and we were living together. So we were a pair. So it was like, I'm going to go for this. You should go for it too. Sure. And I finally convinced him. And then he got hired and I didn't. So
Yep.
then we sold our house and worked all that stuff out in Holland. I stayed back, go back and forth, and then moved up that next spring. And then it wasn't too long before, and did a few workshops, and that was really great. Worked on the train development for the Flexi Track and the Emerald Knight deliverables that came out of there. Met all the amazing, really talented train builders from all over the planet. And I was in there because of my train dragons, or dragons as I call them, because some people saw those and thought those were fantastic. So I got slid in on this workshop, which was really a wonderful time. And I really enjoyed it because I learned how to build normal trains, because I'd always just built fantastical creatures that ran on track. So that was really good. But
Nice.
yes, eventually they did another hiring, and in less than 24 hours, I was hired.
Awesome.
Nice.
So it was good. And I started with Jamie Berard on Creator, and it was a good time. It was, 10, 12, 13-hour days. Pretty much mostly 7 days a week, but it was a good time.
Well, you say 10 or 13 hours and 7 days a week. And, I wish I could play with Lego that often. That much.
Yeah.
I don't see the problem here. And
It's not playing.
I know.
Because you've got to work to other people's ideas, design briefs, and meet all these goals and deadlines, and saw and glue and cut and spray. Right. And that was funny too, because they asked that in the interview. They're like, "Well, you do understand that the prototype development process is not just straight building Lego." And I said, "Of course." And they said, "Well, how would you feel about cutting it or sawing it or gluing it?" I'm like, "Well, I've not paid for it, right?" And they're like, "No, it's ours." And I said, "No, that's fine.
Yeah, I'll cut it.
That's mine, but if that's what needs to happen to get it done, then sure."
Yeah.
Yeah, I spray painted. Spray painting elements is a whole other thing of crazy. But yeah, because we have all the Lego matched colors there, and I did the that Mediterranean villa, the family home. That's what they called the set. I worked on a lot of the assets for the duck pond and stuff. And
the one with the light brick on top with the garage. What year are we talking?
2008.
Okay, I was
Family Home in 2008.
Yeah, I was in my dark ages. I thought it was something else. I'm sorry.
No, that was later. The one with the light brick in the garage.
Yeah, that's when I was coming out of it. Had to have that.
Wait, are you talking about Family Home in 2009? 6754?
2009.
Do a screen share, Kevin.
Okay, hold on. Let me share my screen. Stand by.
Stand by, Kevin.
There it is.
One?
Oh, I love that one. Oh my God.
So, if I can see it, how do I see? Oh, there it is. Yeah. So the duck. So the duck pond, the path, all the outside assets. Those are all mine. You see here in this actual photo, those are the blue shutters that I spray painted.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
What was the original color before you changed it?
Light gray.
Light gray. There it is, ladies.
Nobody likes light gray.
Nobody likes light gray.
At one point, the roof was blue. We had it blue. We had it dark blue. We did all sorts of different roof color tests.
Yeah, I personally, I don't know if Kevin has not told you this, Megan. Creator is my favorite theme. Yeah,
that's still mine as well.
I want all the houses.
Yeah.
All the houses belong to Julian.
I like I said, I started with I think it was the 2013 family with the light brick, and I was like, oh, I love this. And then I found the other ones. It was like, oh, there's more.
Oh, there's a lot more.
Yeah.
And then even before that, it's a fantastic one with a school. Oh, that one's super cool. Stig Anderson did that one. It's gorgeous. It's got a little swing set, and it's cool. 05 or 06, I think that one.
I'm sure I have seen it I can't place it right now.
Probably. I can't remember the name of it or the set number. I never really memorized the set numbers though.
Yeah, that's a special type of talent.
6952. Right
Hard
there.
with set numbers. You know.
6952.
I only know yeah, see, there's usually like one or two that each of us know.
Right there, 6952.
I should know my own, but
The only ones
set numbers.
I think I've said this before too on this program, but the only two that are burned into my brain is 6212, the X-Wing Starfighter, because it was on the shelves for like 6 years.
Right.
I lost, like, the packaging had been like lapped by other Star Wars packaging, like 2 waves, and I was like, why do we still have 6212 on the shelves? And the other one was the first Falcon 10159, because everybody was always like, how many pieces are in this? I'm like, 5,195. It's the largest Lego set ever made. 10159. Get out of here. It was just like, you get asked so many times that it's just like, all right, I'm over it. I don't know any other product numbers. Those are just the only ones that are forever etched in my brain.
Bless your heart.
Fair enough.
Sorry, I derailed us again, but it's okay. It's a happy derail.
It's all good.
I love the creator houses. They all make me happy. Every little stitch of them.
Oh, 10179. I messed up the number. I guess it's out of my brain.
Almost out of your brain.
I was one number off. But yeah, no, please continue.
Oh no, that's fine. So was while I was at Lego, so I was in creative for a while, and then I got approached by the LDD team to do some consulting for them, and because they are amazing programmers, but they didn't actually build.
Well, I mean, go on.
So
why would they?
Fantastic CAD program, and they're not actually building with Lego. So I was able to come in and help bridge the gap with that.
Is that what was wrong with it? No. Sorry.
Now, for those who may not know, it started attached to Lego Factory, where you could order your own Lego set. And there were a lot of hiccups with that first process. Then it went to the rebrand of Lego Design by Me, and that's when it was really starting to get on track. But sadly, the marketing just wasn't there. I really don't think it was not communicated well, and people didn't really understand. Like, even the marketing team, they would go to events and we would be on the booth and working on promoting it, and they just didn't understand the value of what it was and what it could do. And then they also put in a bunch of constraints which weren't necessary, as far as you could only order 5 of your set, or I think it was 8 at the end. And so that killed it as well. But it was a wonderful forward-thinking thing.
Yeah, for sure.
I seem to end up on the forward-thinking things, and there's digital concept development stuff, and the materials department as well, with suggesting other elements that could be tried instead of just the 2x4 brick at the time, because they were only looking at the 2x4 and the normal system parts, not others like, say, plants.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a very interesting time. I would just end up meeting amazing people from all different walks of life, all different levels of history of the company. Sometimes while walking my lovely Bull Terrier Bandit, sadly no longer with us, but was 3 Lego sets. He be walking him along, and I would meet retired Lego folk, and I spoke a little bit of Danish, and that was enough to break the ice. And then all of a sudden, I learned that they used to be the head mold maker, or they were in. Another gentleman was in the original factory when it burnt down and saved all the people.
Wow.
Got them all out.
Wow.
So out of this came the idea to share a lot of it into Brick Journal.
Yep.
And that's how the Lego editor title came to be.
And so if I recall correctly, I have met Bandit. Bandit was around.
Oh, yeah.
When I first went over there. I'm trying to find one of the sets one of the Mars mission sets, right? There's a sticker. Let me share my screen again.
Okay, go for it, Kevin.
Because this is another relevant thing.
I really am enjoying this.
Okay, so this Mars mission set, right? There's Bandit kind of hidden.
There he is.
There's a decal.
You're gonna have to blow that up, Kevin. I can't.
Yeah. Here, let me go if I can see if I can get another angle.
Yeah, man. Something.
More images.
Somewhere I have a T-shirt of it, but that's in storage. So
I don't know if I can get it any bigger.
Better.
So, but this set is 7649, the MT201 Ultra Drill Walker, and there's a decal. So this theme had a bunch of different vehicles, and they had like different creatures on each vehicle.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so there's a dog sticker on this one.
Yeah, he's got the beefy bull terrier driller legs there.
And that was a clear homage.
It is, and you see how this little ship. Look on the little.
Sorry.
Do better, Kevin.
Kevin broke it.
Which one? Which one?
The shuttle with the orange.
This thing?
Yeah. So that pulls out of the front of the drill, which Mark designed the ships to come out, which is great. But what it would always annoy. So you see these wings on the side here? If you flip them vertically up, those are Bandit's ears.
Oh.
And that's Bandit's big old egg head. It's awesome.
That is awesome.
That's great.
I'm crazy when I do that. I'm like, oh, look, ears. He's like, no.
I love that there's always so many more stories to things that you don't realize in like a Lego set. Like it's just like, I mean, yeah, it's a toy, right? But there's just all these different little things.
That's great.
The other is the Space Police, and I can't remember. It's a small impulse item with Mark's sig fig and Bandit in there.
Oh.
I can't remember the
Good work, Kevin.
The set number.
Let me see. The newest version, right? The newest version of Space Police.
Original. Well, yes, the revamp from the thousands. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Space. Because it's been.
I think it's called Canine Bot.
What do you think it's called?
Canine Bot or.
Oh. Okay. All right. I got you.
Come on, Kevin. Come on.
So that one's funny.
I'm going as fast as I can.
Come on,
Mark was working on the impulse item, and he was, of course, who wouldn't? He was making his own sig fig.
Right.
The impulse item is little space guy, and they wanted to have a dog with it, and he was playing around with the German Shepherd mold at the time, and I was like, well, why not just build it? So I built Bandit in a small, tiny scale, and then that went into the set. So we technically designed that one together. There it is.
Oh, no. That's awesome.
So Mark added the launcher into the middle, and then added the coloring, because I built them all in white when I first built it. And then I went away, and then that came out.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's a cool set.
I love it.
It's a great little set. But yes, Bandit was lovely, and everybody loved it.
$83.99 K9 bot.
You don't own this one, Kevin? Shame on you.
I'm sorry. Yeah, you get to see my.
Yes, do better, Kevin. You got two of the one next to it, but
I have two. I got two Squid Man, but I don't. So it'd be Squid Men, but I don't have any K9 bots.
Squid persons? No.
All right, we'll get out of my personal brick set
All right,
collection.
come on, man, do better. Oh.
Nice observation there, Julie.
Hey, that's what they keep.
He's known for such skills.
Yeah, I sneak peeks. I could probably tell you the last text message you got too, but we ain't gonna talk about that. Yeah, I'm the big idea guy, and the look at the detail.
Hey, you got some sweet stickers and magnets. It's all good.
Hey, try.
That's right.
Well, and I can only imagine the artwork comes from Mr. Kevin Hinkle Draws.
Well, I mean,
but just just for cross promotion,
Mhm.
Howie, yohowie.com created this shirt for me.
Nice.
Yeah,
I mean, that's a super fun idea.
I love this. You're just mad you didn't think of it first.
I am. I mean, that's the sign of great other creative artists is that I'm like, dang it,
Yeah, look at that.
dang it.
Yes, like that other shirt that you and I were observing at the bowling alley, Kevin. That
Yeah,
was genius.
yeah. Oh, what was it? I don't remember.
What
It
happened?
was a cancer shirt. I'll just leave it at that.
Oh, right. I know about what shirt you're talking about. I
Yeah.
know who was wearing it, and I know where it came from. Thank you very much.
Gotcha.
That was some very, very clever graphic design there.
I
Yeah.
remember.
Why didn't we think of it?
We could all be millionaires right now.
Oh yes, yes, exactly. But yeah, so it was very interesting living in Billund, or Bricktown, as I used to call it on social media. Still do, actually. And that's way before the Lego house was there. There was nothing there.
Yeah. Yep. Oh yeah. I mean, that was that. Well, no, I won't derail anymore.
Please do.
No. Keep it going. So, so you were. So when did you stop? What was the year when you stopped working for Lego?
Probably 20. The last thing is probably 2013.
Okay.
Because it was freelancing and in and out and all around, and sometimes there was say actual finances coming in. Other times it was trade.
Sure. And so then, and
it's easier for them, and because I had, as we were discussing earlier, my life was one giant NDA, which was both fascinating and stressful at the same time.
Yeah.
But I asked Kel one day, Kel Christensen.
that guy.
Never heard of him.
Say his first name. I've got to put him
You
in.
gotta. I mean, you do. You gotta do the whole thing.
I mean, you can, but
I asked Kel because I was involved in this certain workshop that he was in, and I asked him if he wanted me to sign any paperwork. Do you need me to fill out an NDA? He's like, oh no, Megan, you're fine. Your life's an NDA. You're fine.
Your entire existence is the NDA.
And as such, there's still things I can't discuss to this day. It's like having worked for the government or something.
No, you can. This is a safe place. Nobody watches this. You can tell us anything you want.
That's what you say, but inevitably somebody would see.
Nobody watches this.
Nobody watches.
I also remember that in the Brick Journal days. Because at some point also, I think didn't your title it was like European editor?
Right? I was European bureau editor at first. Yeah.
Okay, because I remember that. I remember like, oh, that's a fun title.
Yeah. Then when I transitioned into Billund and all this amazing Lego content was coming up, Joe changed it to Lego editor.
Oh, okay. So that was actually so that was first, and then it morphed into the I got it. Sweet. That's super awesome.
It was really fun. And of course went to events and sold Brick Journal and really helped get it off the ground in Europe. And everywhere I went, they were like, oh, did you bring it? Do you have copies? So it's very popular. And we were able to get it shipped over, and then I could distribute it there. It's good. Mm-hmm. But I don't know what's happening now.
I don't either, and I put comics in it.
Right. I was very glad that I was stoked that I was excited when the 50th was coming up. I was like, wow, Joe, you've made 50 issues of this magazine. That is such a feat. So I was really excited to be in that. And if you get that issue, it's all about my crazy time at Brick Journal and contribution to it. So it goes into much more detail of stuff that I can talk about.
That's the best stuff, folks.
Yeah.
We won't we won't pressure too much.
No,
Um,
I'll be good.
yeah. When is the so tell us about the humble beginnings of the Lego Adventure Book series.
Right. So that was funny because I actually received the email, I kid you not, the second day in of Lego World 2011. And it said it was from the founder and owner of No Starch Press. Now, I actually, way in the earlier days of Comic-Con, before I even went to Europe in the early 90s, when No Starch was more starting out in the small press area, I met those guys. So I was kind of, I was like, oh, I've heard of that name. And then now with the internet, it was handy to do some research and see that they'd gone from a just starting tiny publishing company to a decent mid-sized publishing company. And then it turns out they've got a long history of doing Lego content books, and they were doing all the Mindstorms books.
Oh,
for years. So they've been doing it a long, long time, and have at times had a more heated relation with some of their content, which thankfully they're no longer doing those books. But you don't need to be making weapons out of Lego. Enough said.
Well, yeah, at least not the
They're
super
going for
realistic.
the edgy sales side. I get it. They make software books and all sorts of things. But in the email, it was interesting because they said they'd seen my work in the Brick Journal and thought it was great, and thought that they could were interested in having me do a Lego idea book, and that was it. And so I wrote them back and explained I was actually at a Lego event, and I would get back to them as soon as I could, in probably a week or two, because Lego World will take it out again.
Yeah.
If it's anything like Philly,
well, it's like Philly in a lot of ways on the nighttime activities there, but in Holland, bars stay open until 6 a.m., particularly on the weekend.
I could drink.
But it's full on, and it's a week.
Yeah.
And then you're dealing with
That's the dream.
kids from all over, and kids are not the best at covering their nose when they cough and sneeze, and you end up with what we call the Lego World cold.
Yeah.
And sometimes it can jack you up for like a month after. But it was always worth it to go.
It's always worth it. Always worth it. Always.
Yes, always worth it. So yeah, I gave myself a window. I said I'd get back within a week or two. And I did, and we got on Skype, and I put on my designer hat, and I said, okay, what's the brief? What's the time frame? What's the target age? And he said, well, that's entirely up to you, but what I would like to do is have it out for the following Christmas. Like, all right.
Take all the time you want. We need it yesterday.
Yeah. Now, having been in the editorial world, it's a whole different ballgame.
Yeah.
And I said, well, why me? I said, I'm a toy designer. I'm not an author. And they're like, well, you can do editorial. We've seen that. So you can write. We see that. And you're designing toys, and you're whimsical by nature. So you can incorporate that into story. I was like, okay, I guess. I've learned in life to not always leap at the opportunity, but at least consider things. Sure. And keep your mind open to considering things, because I never, ever would have imagined ending up on this book path as I have. Yeah. So then I put my hat back on and started thinking about, what I wanted to do. And I was inspired by that fantastic little magazine from the 80s, the Legoland 6000, where it's just no words. It's all visual storytelling, but it's just beautiful. And it's very character focused, but also very simplistic as well. And then I thought, well, who am I? I'm just one builder out of so many others. And I really didn't want the focus to be on me. I also looked at what was going on in the Lego book market at the time, both branded and non-branded, and thought that, well, why should it just be about me? So then drawing off of my brick journal experiences, I decided to create what I call feature builders. So I reached out to a lot of really fantastic, strong Lego builders in the community that I knew could do or might be interested in joining me on this adventure of book creation, and I could work with. And some of them were friends, and then some of them I didn't know for Adam, like Ara Lealgo from Norway.
Yeah.
And it was great. So I started working with them, and I basically took them through a version of the set design process, and then we would work out. Well, for the first one, we worked with a lot of content that may have already been out, like a model they've already put out on Flickr or somewhere. And then I said, yeah, I'd like to, like Mike Saki, who's now designing at Lego after being in my book.
That's the guy you just talked about, Julian.
What?
Yeah, that's one of them. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I like him.
He did.
I like him.
He did those lovely Jurassic Park inspired vehicles. And I thought it'd be cool to have one of them in the book because it's a nice build and it's not super crazy complex. And so I was like, yeah, I'd like to have that in the book. He's like, okay, how many pictures, angles, what do you need? And I said, well, I also need you to take it apart and show me how you built it.
There you go.
He's like, okay, so more than an exploded view. I'm like, oh yeah, no, not an exploded view. We're gonna work on making some building breakdowns.
Nice.
But yeah, it was an amazing experience for sure. And what a freakish amount of work. I wanted it to be quality, of course. It's going to have the Lego Association. It has to be high quality.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot begin to count the hours of the communications, receiving the photos in, and then the hours and hours of Photoshop and InDesign and making photos press ready, having a high enough resolution, like Aaron from Australia with his amazing yellow castle fortress that was only existing on Brickshelf because he no longer had the actual photos anymore. So yeah, there was in the first one particularly, there was a lot of jiggery pokery with image consistency and quality, but it worked and rocked it out. And then for the second one, that was exciting because I had all the design elements there. Mm-hmm. So I could work more on the story. And then from there, I could actually work with the feature builders. Ara came back through and a couple others. And then we could actually develop models specifically for the book, which was quite exciting to do. We did that with the third one as well.
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna grab my copies real quick while you're talking.
That would be good. Time, mine are actually not in my studio; they're outside.
And again, I don't. I'll do better. I'll do better. I promise. I do. I'll figure it out. I don't know. Yeah. I've delved into Lego and official and non-official books on occasion, but I usually just want to buy the Lego. Hey Kevin, welcome back.
The whole idea behind and drive for me to do the book, there's volume 1.
Nice.
I won't give away all the secrets. You got to buy it.
Oh yeah, no. You don't tell me.
Mike Saki's chapter, the border is dark green, I believe.
Show us.
British way. You can pull up that Jurassic vehicle and the breakdown next to it.
What is this? A Fabuland monkey guy. All right.
That's Mark. Yeah.
I got distracted. Triassic Park.
Yes, that would be it. There it is.
Oh, there you go. Nice.
Yeah, I mean the dinosaur's pretty good too over here.
Great. We had to actually rework him so he could be buildable for normal builders.
That is a good looking truck.
It is a good looking truck.
I like that truck.
Yep. So this is this is Lego the Lego Adventure Book Volume 1.
That's Volume 1.
Yeah. Now I don't know if I was taking a nap, or not. Is this Lego official or not?
It's not, but here's an interesting little Easter egg.
Oh yes, please.
After this was out, and I had copies in Billin. Yes, there's a disclaimer.
There's your legal.
I really thought it was going to say this boat does not float.
Boat does not float.
I was actually approached by the vice president of the extended line that does all that stuff.
Yeah.
And they wanted to brand it because it follows the values, and of course, essentially it had all the model requirements because of myself and Mark consulting as well on it. So it was all there, and they wanted to actually properly brand it, but then they found, due to their agreement with DK, they couldn't.
Yeah.
Oh, DK always getting in the way, folks.
Yeah, it's funny how that works, because they didn't even realize that themselves. And then they were like, oh, technically our internal zine, we can't really brand either by that terminology.
Yeah, what's interesting about that very topic is, even just through my short years as community manager, I mean, obviously there are dozens of Lego inspired or Lego themed books that come out every year.
Yes.
And I felt like it was an annual occurrence that the licensing team would be all mad, and they'd be like, we want to talk about all these unsanctioned books. But there's a few we do like, and we'd like to talk about what we can do together. And then every year it was like clockwork. Oh wait, yeah. we have a DK agreement. Never mind. We can't change anything. Move along. And then I'm like, okay, I can't wait to do this again next year. And then next year, every year, it was like every year was the same thing. And I would like come into the office with like, they would have a request for Lego fan books, and I come in with like a stack. I'm like, here's the new ones for the year. And they're like, I don't like that one. I like that one. Can we do something? Oh, we can't do anything. Can we stop these? Oh, we can't stop those. All right, move along. Like, it was always like the most useless meeting ever. I was like, all right, well, this is fun. Good seeing you guys. But so that's the first one. Then you just started talking about the second one, right?
Yeah, so there's the second one.
This is number 2.
It's got the fire dragon on the front there.
2.
Fancy.
Yeah.
We've got there's a down there. The fire dragon's that little red guy.
Yep.
That's better than any old Ninjago I know.
Is there a particular one in here that we should flip to? Perhaps? Or maybe dealer's choice.
Dealer's choice. It's all lovely.
It's all good.
It's all.
But here, this is fun. I mean, at the beginning here, we have Mark here at the beginning. So
yes.
we've mentioned him several times. So there's Megan and Mark together.
Yep.
Nice.
The second book heats up. I've added a baddie, and there's conflict, and it gets quite exciting in the second book. Because again, I was able to focus more on story, and then it was also exciting to have Meg's first appearance in the first book.
So these are like breakdowns. Here we got like the parts you need. How many do you need of the part?
That makes me happy.
Yes. Element overviews are a whole other can of worms.
Yeah. Did you sell all the copies that you brought to the Brickfest yard sale?
No, I did not.
But you sold. I know you sold a lot though, because I watched your table.
There is that. Now listen, Megan, now we're talking. Let's figure something out. Yeah.
So this sidebar, this minifig hair, if you didn't read about it in Brick Journal, or I haven't told you about it personally, is sculpted off of this mop top. So
awesome.
Yes, it's an official part. It came out in Lego City. They ran it in brown at first because that at one point was the color of my hair. And it was Geeta Torrenson who was the master sculptress at Lego, and she has sculpted all of our favorite hair.
That's awesome.
She did all the organic sculpts,
You
just
said her name was
beautiful, all
Geeter?
by hand too.
You said Geeter?
Geeta.
I like it.
I think the forget product designer, master sculptor is an amazing title.
Master
It's just like it's like
Yes.
they need to be like
She's
the
there for
Justice
over
League.
30 years.
It's like you have like the round table and it's like master builder, master sculpt, like get all the master titles
Yeah,
and
exactly.
put them all at the table. There it is.
That's amazing.
She was absolutely wonderful, and she started in the time of when Scala was just starting up, and she hand sculpted all of those gorgeous Scala elements that we love so much, like the
Even-
Scala flower.
What about
Oh,
the baby?
that's such a sweet
Yeah,
element.
the Skull Baby.
What about the Skull baby?
I don't know if you're aware of this, Megan, but the baby has like totally taken over so many things. It's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
that. I mean, hashtag the baby. I don't even know. I'm just saying. It's- we here in the States, we're like, what is that? Okay. There has been several videos and several streams dedicated to the Scala baby.
There was
There have been temples built
there have
to worship.
Geeta
that
has
baby.
no idea.
there was an entire collaborative display at Brick Fair, Virginia 2 years ago, and it was only things to accompany the Scala baby. That was
Here- and here's the fun part. That's not even the YouTube group I'm talking about. So
no, this is a different
it's
ecosystem.
a
That's
Lord.
hilarious.
There was a guy, I believe he's in Pittsburgh, and he went to Brick Fair that year, and he goes, "I bought every Scala baby off of Brick Link," and I was like, "How many is that?" And he pulled out this like
So he
giant
really
bag.
did. Okay.
But he was giving them out. He was like, "Here you go."
You get a Scala baby. And you get a Scala
When
baby.
you- That's hilarious. Wow.
Yeah.
I think I have one kicking around somewhere, but
Well,
I'm much more into creatures.
yeah,
So here-
be careful, that kid might steal your soul.
Oh, yeah, there they are. 1, 2, and 3.
Here's all three of them together.
Look at everybody. Kevin did it right.
Yes.
I bought these. I've had them in one shape or another over the years, but
Right.
I have now reacquired these thanks to the Philly yard sale.
The Philly
Um,
yard sale was brilliant. So thank
that
you
was-
guys.
That was the third. This is the third one. What's on the cover of the third one? So
Yes.
So Megan, when you sign my copies, to Bricksmith with love.
that is the that is the thing. And all three of these are still very much available. You
They
can
are
buy
very much available still, either by myself at shows signed or also on Amazon and through No Starch's site as well.
and I've seen those like at Barnes and Noble and
Oh,
a couple
yeah.
other places that you may purchase books.
I do like to go into bookstores and ask. And
Excuse
most
me,
of
do
the
you
time,
have these books?
If it's not on the shelf, it usually is, but if it's not, then it's in their system,
Yeah,
which is exciting too.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
It is pretty cool.
it's pretty trippy.
So I think
Language as well, so that's quite cool too.
we're at an hour, right? Maybe or near
We're
it.
about an hour and a half in. Yeah.
Oh, we're an hour and a half in. Okay,
You
so
know, give or take. I stopped looking.
did you? Okay, so should we in our process of winding down, we have to of course talk about this.
Yes, we do. yeah.
Absolutely need to talk about that. We talk
So-
about nothing else tonight.
I mean, this is
Oh.
This is it.
the goal. This is the goal. If you're just tuning in now,
Just now.
this is the goal. So why don't you tell us about how this came about?
Okay, so this is a curious venture. So I had finished the third Lego Adventure book, and for years, having worked with Jim, that's Jim Fold, also
That as here on the cover.
as they're on the cover, yes. Who have you mentioned Jim in your
He
past?
has been mentioned many
Jim-
times.
Jim who?
Okay.
Jim.
Just making sure. See, I don't know where the
I don't
context falls.
Yeah,
so-
no problem. No worries.
So Jim has been on several episodes, or he's been brought up several episodes.
Very good.
From I think starting with the Brick Fair, Virginia.
Ah, right.
I think didn't Jim come out and do a thing?
Yes,
Yeah,
we did.
yep.
We came out and we did a presentation
There
for,
you
and that was the first announcement that we were actually doing something,
Yeah.
There it is.
which was quite cool. Yeah, for years I've wanted to team up with Jim on a project. We worked together at Lego, doing things for Lego Universe. He was running the community side of that, and but we also kind of knew each other sort of through Brick Journal. So I've known Jim for many, many years, and I always thought if we could team up on something, it would just be something really quite special.
Yeah.
And so finally, the timing was right, and I had an open window. And having gone through working with professional publishers and things, learning more of the book world itself.
Look at this little guy,
Yes,
this little puppy.
that is my mutant pet.
Oh, I was
Go
like,
back slightly. You're way out of focus there. There you go. Stop. There he is.
good stuff.
So I thought it was actually Jim's idea to do a smaller concept of a project, a test, as it were. And I said, "Oh, that I hadn't actually considered that. That's a neat idea." So it started out as most things do. Oh, we'll just do a small thing and test the market and see how it goes.
Mhm.
But then as we started into it and did a lot of research into the markets and looking at what all the other not just Lego authors but toy authors were doing as well, and then wanted to do something entirely different and break out of the box, as it were. But then I also had the extra challenge of not replicating the Lego Adventure book, which had also broken itself out of the box. I'm like,
Mhm.
hey, I've got to do two things that have never been done before in the same media formats.
Yeah.
That I didn't even consider that, like trying to not cannibalize
Mhm.
or copy
Right.
too closely your same already.
Mine same or anybody
successful one.
else's for that matter. So
Yeah.
it that was an interesting challenge. And when we were first looking at it, we had a whole other different story and whole other different concept going, but it skewed way too young. We actually hit 3 to 5 years, and we're like, wait a minute, that's
Yeah.
not old enough.
That's pretty
We're
young.
not actually building with Lego bricks yet, and we may
Yeah.
do something like that down the line, a junior line, possibly.
Oh,
All
like
the
a
stuff's still there,
Duplo adventure book or
possibly.
Duplo. I mean, that'd be
Are you
kind of.
announcing it right here, right now? Okay. Good job. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Kevin a handle. Good job,
It's
Kevin.
just-
Never know.
Just listen. No, we have to move on from that, Kevin.
Okay, we're moving on. We're moving
But
on.
then coming up from trying to also come up with a whole other new title and things. So Constructaventure is our book brand
Mhm.
essentially, and that was really fun to create that graphic. But yeah, you're looking at all together 2 years.
Wow.
This is 2 years of
I hold
pretty
2 years in my hand.
full-time solid graph.
Wow.
Now, of course, with every project, there's been working and reworking, and we wanted to take our time and get it right and not rush it. And of course, life does intervene. But when other things came up that you had to stop everything and assist family with, for example,
Mhm.
you're still working on it in some way. So yeah, it's been great. And one of the other things we wanted to do was not have it be directly minifig based. So
Yeah,
it led to
this guy right
Yeah.
here.
By the way, I am
which
absolutely in love with that fella.
oh thank you.
I see him on my Instagram feed, And
Oh yeah, yep.
well,
Oh,
you know, yeah. I no, I'm that guy. I've liked every one of your posts. Thanks.
well, feel free to comment anytime.
No, I don't do that.
No, but no, see, Julian will hit that like button, but commenting is a whole nother
Yeah,
animal.
I can't. I ain't got time for that.
Funny. It's so funny. Nobody does. I comment on people's threads all the time, and yet,
Yeah, I don't spell so good. That's why I do this.
well, I think that's why they invented the emojis. Really.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
It's one of the emojis.
We're not going down that slippery slope right now. I can't. No.
Just throw the emojis in there.
But
Um,
yeah, Sid is Sid's its own building scale, and
Yeah.
now everything is based around Sid scale, as we call it now, and that's led to a whole other bevy of building challenges, and then challenges of actually physically fitting it on a page,
Yeah.
and then the other challenge of presenting different ways of building stuff. And oh yeah, let's not replicate building instructions from Lego Adventure Book either, and come
Yeah.
up with a whole other DNA for that. So yeah, for me, there's been a lot of really interesting challenges and problems to solve with it. So I'm quite excited about it. The reaction's been fantastic.
Good.
Everybody that gets it in their hands loves it. Yay! And yeah, I haven't, and I love to get feedback. So, you guys can reach out through the Facebook page and contact us and let us know what you think of it. And it's this is only the beginning. This is the first, and we're gonna do more and mix it up and just have a lot of fun with it.
So
The more interaction we can do, the better.
So can I ask? I feel like I must.
I think you should, Kevin.
What are you asking?
So with these, as you say, this is the first.
Mm-hmm.
So there hopefully will be many more. Does that mean these are done?
Oh,
And then
that's
Kevin, that is a great question.
I'm just
That's why I
curious.
think
I'm
around.
curious.
it's not to say that they're done. There could be a fourth in the works, but it's a matter of I am one person.
Well, I mean, let me introduce you to my cloning machine. So
And,
okay,
every project is work, of course, and
sure, yeah.
a copious amount of hours that a lot of people, some can understand, but a lot of people may not have.
Megan, I'm gonna put it in terms Kevin can understand real quick.
Uh-huh.
Kevin, are you done with all your doodles?
No, no.
Then don't ask questions like that. Kevin.
I only ask questions I also get asked.
Are you caught up, Kevin?
I have been asked, and some people track me down through various social spots, total strangers, saying that they love the Lego Adventure books and when is the fourth one coming.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I let them know about Construct Adventure, which just came out, but also that it could be coming in the future, but not a determined point, because that's a whole other huge amount of work.
Yeah.
But I think we could safely assume we haven't put it to rest. It's
Right,
still it's there. Maybe it'll happen, but it's not a period. It's just like a comma.
It's
And
a comma.
Yeah, I'm just going to interject as well again. You can't end in an odd number.
You well.
My OCD is like, why is there not 4?
1, 2, 3.
But hey, there's only 3 Back to the Future movies.
Let me shut up, Kevin. Shut your mouth and don't you talk about my movies.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
Trilogies, yes.
I should not have brought it up.
Oh goodness.
But
Yes, so
yeah. And then so
Construct
this is
Adventures,
this is
that's the new one.
yep, and this is Amazon.
It's on Amazon. I've dipped my toe into the world of self-publishing, which is also an entirely different
Yeah.
animal and quite intriguing.
Is
That's,
that
sorry?
that's right? How do you pronounce that? I don't know how to pronounce the word. What is the
Mediative.
yeah, okay, good.
Mediate.
Mediative abstract.
Okay. Is that the self-publishing brand?
That's our overall company. Yes.
Okay. Cool. Yeah.
And
I was like,
then
I don't know how to say that, so I'll just.
branch of that. Well, it's actually quirky and cute if you start thinking about who made the book.
This guy.
Letters.
This guy's cool though. This guy, I want to be friends with that guy.
That would be this guy.
That is a cool cat if I ever saw one.
Yes.
Look at that guy.
I'm always been quite fond of Tiki. And
Yeah.
so
I need all the builds.
this is the
Megan, you're driving me crazy because like
this is the mediative mascot.
Yeah, I would I like books. They're cool. Like I said, I don't read so good.
That's when you do like a special, you reserve it for special occasions, but you do a author signing and you get to build this guy.
There we go.
And you only can get it if you go to one of the author signings.
But see, it's a comic book format, so you don't have to have a lot of reading in there.
No. I absolutely, yeah. I would just say in that I'm in love with your builds. I'll say it. All right, don't.
Well, these guys, I seem to have a knack of. I'll take a break, like I was taking a break from designing Sid. And by the way, kids, this is 3.5 months of full proper toy design process. But I was working on designing Sid and taking a break, and that's when I was just tinkering around with. This is one of my favorite elements.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I call that the bullnose slope. Everybody.
Oh, that's curious. I've never heard it called.
That's the only way I've ever heard of it called. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's the 2 and a bit arch.
Yep.
I call it. But it's lovely. It's one of my favorite elements. That and the Dalek 5-sided connection.
Yeah.
Brick. Yep. And the Erling, which you guys call the headlight brick or the washing machine brick.
Yep.
Yes. But I was tinkering with bits that I had around, and I came up with this guy and a couple others, and I thought, oh, these would be a fun, like, little set to do, some other thing, and then he ended up becoming the brand mascot.
Those are the best ones. End up doing stuff like that. It's like they just unintentionally find themselves on the cover. It's like, there you go. That's awesome.
He's good fun. So yeah, there'll be more of those guys in the future as well. And there's a little Easter egg of him in chapter 1 of Constructive Venture.
Oh. I gotta read.
Good work, Kevin.
That's awesome. So yeah, so I think I think that's enough for today. I think you have a super fascinating story as well, and I think we're gonna have to have you back on again at some point.
Yeah. It's no
Sure.
longer forever sorting with that guy.
It's not just me. It's not only me.
Right.
But
It takes a village.
it does take a village.
Or as I call Kevin, the village idiot. No.
No. I don't think you've ever called me that.
No, but I'm going to start now.
That's
watch out for this one.
I'm mean to the ones I love.
He really is. The people that he cares about the most, oh man. All right.
Yeah, it's a terrible thing.
Sure.
So yeah, is there anything else you'd like to share with us or our listeners, Megan, before we conclude for our episode? Buy these books.
Yeah.
Buy them now.
Go. The price point for Constructive Venture is quite low. It's less than a $10 set, so huge value for.
I'm on it.
It's a good time. It's reading, it's building, it's inspiration. There's some building tips in there too, just like there are with Lego Big Book as well.
And our friend Kelly, she ordered these, and I guess she works in a school, I
She
think.
works in a library.
Are we talking about Kellen 39?
Yep. Yes.
Bubba Bricks and
Yep.
Kellen 39. Yeah. She works at the library at her
Yeah.
son's school, and
She
she
has
is
introduced this.
always doing something with the kids.
And
she
yes,
was
a shout out to her for sharing that lovely story of she was trying to catalog it, and some students came along and they were like, "What's this?"
Yeah, it was already
on
gone.
the shelves. So yay! And on that note, we've actually got it into several library systems around up in the north here too. So it's
Awesome.
Good
it's
deal.
yeah. So that was quite exciting to meet with the directors, and they're like, "Wow, what's this?" That they all like it. So it's really great when a librarian
Yeah.
gets a hold of something that you've made, and they're like, "Oh, this is amazing."
The keeper of the books is probably a pretty important person to have on your camp.
Absolutely. The gatekeepers are all into it so far. So we're very excited about that. We'll be doing some local events around here. Well, yes. If you have a lot of Pennsylvania people, we are going to do the Founders Festival in Tunkhannock in June 22nd.
Cool.
So we're going to have the book there for signing, and we also might have other merchandise as well.
My God.
Merchandise. Hey, it's all about the
Keep-
merchandise.
Keep on taunting me with Sid. Go ahead.
You might have to make an appearance, Julian. It's not that far.
He's gonna end up telling you what he told me, where he's like, if you take that Mario build to Philly, not all of it's coming back home with you. I was like, do I need to watch this the whole time?
The whole time.
That's awesome. Well, cool.
Yes.
So
Well-
yes, and thank you guys for having me on. This has been super fun.
That's good. That's good to hear.
Yeah. we were legitimately concerned that we were just trolling.
Well,
I
awesome.
was worried about
It would
Kevin.
have been fun to do at the event, but it's tricky. So I don't even know where we could have found a quiet spot, to be honest. So
There were none.
There was none. Yeah, exactly.
No.
But yeah, so yeah, feel free if you want when the video goes up. Julian would definitely not be offended if you put a comment with any links in the
No, Kevin. No, Kevin. You're gonna when you send me the thumbnail, you're gonna send me all the links, and I'm gonna put it in.
No,
the
you're not. You are
I'm
not.
going to put it in
No.
the description.
No,
Woo!
Julian does not. No, you don't understand. Julian doesn't do that.
The gravity of that statement is probably the most epic thing that just no.
That you don't. You don't do. He does not do that.
I don't
There-
do it.
There's a
We've
running.
got an awesome link that goes straight to Amazon. It puts up a little thumbnail too.
I like it.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
All the
Jim's
links.
doing.
Kevin.
So yeah, again, everybody, you can find Constructive Venture online at CAV Clicks on social media,
Yes.
and constructaventure.com, right?
.com and .blog as well. And we also have a Facebook page too.
And a Facebook page, all the cool places.
All the people are.
Definitely check it out. It's worth checking out. And Megan is definitely worth chatting to. She's got amazing stories. We're gonna get her out to more events on this side of the ocean. Is what we're gonna
Sounds
do.
like a winner. Hey, are
I'm
you being
game.
busy in January? No.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So hey, that's Julian over there.
And that is Megan right there. Yeah.
And Sid.
Oh, and Sid.
And Sid, don't forget Sid.
Don't forget Sid.
I'm Kevin. Sometimes.
Is that Kevin? All right. I guess
And,
that'll be.
Hey, everybody,
Hey,
you got to sort those bricks.
you got to sort those bricks. Bye, everybody.